This is Las Vegas Real Estate Now with local real estate expert Harvey Blankfeld.
Here we go with our monthly market update. And this is an update that we're doing for February 2025. I have to remind you guys that when we do February's update, we're using January data. And when I do these, I'm talking about single-family homes because that's predominantly where I work. And so we're just comparing single-family home data from January in our February 2025 monthly market update. So here, let's see what we got. So for starters, right now, currently available 5,514 homes. That's up about 150 from last month. Under contract, a little over 2264. That's up about 500 over last month, which is a nice increase.
Yeah.
Sold in the last 30 days, down a little bit, 1557, a little bit under last month. We have 3.5 months worth of inventory, and our average days on market is 34. That's up a little bit from last month. And then I've got our median sales price at 450. I think that the paper said 485, which is a new record. We're at a new record high for single-family homes, just barely, crossing over that. Last year at this time, interestingly enough, we only had 3,700 homes on the market, about the same number under contract, a little fewer sold in that 30-day period, and we only had a little over 2.5 months worth of inventory. And our average day market last year was over 44 days. Now, and then last year the median price was 445. So we're up about $40,000, about 8% year over year, 8-9% year over year in terms of appreciation. So that's a strong appreciation rate year over year in a year when people were thinking the price was going to go down.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I just want to make that point to people because people keep thinking it's going to go down. Right now, there's not enough inventory, and I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of inventory this year either, because there's still a lot of sellers out there with really low interest rates, right? Stacey's pointing to herself.
Yeah, I won't move.
Yeah, you've
my
got a good
interest
rate.
rate is 2.99%.
Yeah, it's tough to give that up.
It's almost free money. I mean, it's not, but it's...
Yeah, it's tough to give that up. I understand. Look, I'm in the same boat. I mean, but you know, if you're in a situation where you don't have to move or you're thinking you might want to move, yeah, don't move. But some people have to move. Some people, you know, they just had twins or they just got a new job or whatever, you know.
All the kids moved out. And
you got to move. You got to move. And so you're going to have to give that thing up. That's the people who are selling.
Right.
Okay.
And they will always exist.
Absolutely. Always. Okay. So let's see what else we got here. So here's our stack chart. You can see we only have one little piece for the 2025, and that's January, which is up a little bit over last year. And last year, when we look at the summation of last year, we can see that it was a little better than 23. 24 was a little better than 23, but they're two of the weakest years we've had in a long time. We're going back all the way back to 2007, 2008. The numbers were way off in terms of the amount of volume. That's the number of homes sold. Okay, so now we move into the months of inventory. This is showing we're right around that 4-month period. We've been there for a while now, and we seem to be just hovering right around 3-4 months. That's where we seem to be right now, and it's going to continue to be that way for a while, I fear, as we're working through this market, which is actually pretty normal. Here's our median price. You can see they did have us at 485 for this month. Back in January of 23, we were at 425, and a year ago, like I said, we were at 445. So that's where we are right now. That's it, but it's not a crazy line, guys. It's a pretty flat line here. It's not going nuts. It's just kind of a steady, flowing, simple, straight line pretty much. Luxury sales. Okay, I've been talking about this for the last few months. I want to talk about it again. And this is the interesting thing here. I'm going to do a little comparison. For those of you who decide to look at the charts, I want you to see these and see the comparison. This chart shows $1 million and over. And currently in January of this year, we did 118 sales at $1 million or more, which is more than we've ever done in January. That's a big number. You know, that we keep, well, actually, that's true, 122. We did 122 in 2022, so it's a little bit off of that number, but a big number again. But I want you to see the houses. We also have the same chart for 3 million and over, and let's look at that. It's almost identical in terms of its shape and scale. See how this is, Carly? See that? See, look at, I'm going to go back to the previous one. I want you guys, it's the same ratio. You see that?
Yep.
So even though we're looking at 1 million versus 3 million, we're seeing the same type of ratios, which makes perfect sense to me. But now we're starting to qualify luxury homes as 3 million and more instead of 1 million or more. Yeah, I know, right?
I'm just blessed to own a home, but I'm nowhere near that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Who does? We're not those numbers. Okay, so here we are. Here's my line graph for February 2025. The orange is the number of homes sold, and you can see we're down to about 1557. That's what we had on our chart. And that number's going down. It's been steadily going down since like August. Each month it's crept down a little bit in terms of the number of homes closed. Now, the number of available homes went up, and it's staying up there. It was peaked back in November at a little over 6,000, and now we're back at 5,500 here in February. And then the blue line represents that median price. Again, pretty flat. That median price is not going in a whole lot direction. On my chart, I had it at 455 last year at this time, or a month before that, 455, and we're at 485. So I had quite a little bit of a difference there in terms of what I saw versus what they were reporting through the local board. But what we're seeing overall, guys, what we're seeing overall is this: is that we're past the election. The election always influences real estate.
Absolutely.
Shouldn't, but it does. It does. We're past that, but we're still seeing a little bit of a hangover from that in the holidays. Every year, I always say this, and here we are. The market warms as the weather warms here in Southern Nevada, and the weather starts to warm Valentine's Day. That's what I've seen every year, and here we are. Valentine's Day. Now we're recording this on Wednesday, Saturday. Yesterday was Valentine's Day. This is the weekend when we'll see. Now we're recording this on Wednesday. Thursday is supposed to be like a downpour. We're supposed to get all this rain that we haven't had for well over 200 days. No rain. Now they're going to make up for it all tomorrow.
Right. We'll flood and
yeah. So we're going to get some rain. But ideally, we're going to see the weather and the weather will start to warm. Week after week, you'll see it warm. Open houses become a little more popular. More people are thinking about making that move when the kids get out of school. So all those things are going to start to happen. So those of you out there who are thinking about buying or selling, you might want to get ahead of that.
Yeah.
I always talk to sellers, and sellers, we talk about seasonality of real estate, but the truth of the matter is when you're buying and selling real estate, it only takes one as a seller. I just need one buyer who's willing to give you a number that's going to make you happy. That's what I want to find for you. And in terms of being a buyer, maybe you want to get out there before all the other buyers get out there and see if you can't get one. So I'm going to tell you, guys, if you're out there kind of waiting until things, waiting for the market to come around and so forth, first of all, I don't see prices going down. I just don't see it. I'm sorry. And we don't like to predict too much, but I just don't see any indication that's going to happen.
No, and I don't think that at this point interest rates are going to have a big jump one way or the other. And I'm not a lender.
Yeah.
So, tomorrow is a different day and I don't have a crystal ball. But like we were saying earlier, if you can afford it, if you can make that payment,
buy it.
Now's always the time.
Yeah, we're here we are bragging about our wonderful interest rates that we have, which is making everyone else feel kind of upset.
Sorry.
But I understand. I'm sorry, but the truth of the matter is that shouldn't bother you so much because eventually you could lower your interest rate. Because my first rate wasn't this.
Oh no.
No, I refinanced to this number. After I've
Mine
owned it for many years.
Yep.
So I'm going to say to you guys, look, if you're waiting for them to get to 3, you're waiting for another pandemic because we're not going to see that in a long time.
And now. If you wait for them to get to 3s, a luxury home is now going to be a $5 million home.
Exactly.
And your entry-level home is going to be $1 million, which makes me just shudder. But it's, the prices are just going to continue to grow.
Absolutely. The prices they're going to continue to go up. Supply and demand will dictate that.
Absolutely.
There's no doubt about it. Now, the economic outlook, now that we have a new president, we have a new White House, we have a new Congress, everything's changed. We're seeing changes in the way our federal government is wanting to oversee big business and the housing industry. And so you might see things loosen up a bit. I just saw that the CFPB is being dismantled, which was kind of interesting, which is very directly impacts our real estate industry because they write some of the documents that we use to close transactions. And so it'll be interesting to see how that all transpires.